guys, and welcome to my Gravelord achievement for Halo 5, which requires you to gather all the skulls in Halo 5 campaign. When you get to this part of the mission, this is the first mission Osiris, and the skull is I would have been your daddy. You're supposed to go through this room, activate a lift, and then continue. Instead, go to the left, jump up the rock here, and the skull is right at the end. And this is your first skull. This is skull number 2, it's Black Eye, and it's on mission 2, Blue Team. Once you get into this room, stick to your left, go up this ramp, and you'll come to a weapons crate just here. You want to jump above it, jump onto the pipe, and then follow the pipe along. Once you get to the end of the pipe, you're going to want to jump across the gap, up this ramp here, and then break through here, and then the skull is in this room just on your left, as you'll see here. Okay guys, by far the hardest skull to get in the game, it's the Iron Skull. Mission 3, Glassed. You have to do this on Legendary or else you will not be able to get this skull. Once you get the Scorpion, carry on playing the game up until you get to this bit. I just made a little save just in case because it is annoying having to restart this bit. When you see this building on your left, look up. Behind that building there will be a pelican that flies by, and behind it there will be a Phaeton trying to shoot it. You want to shoot down the Phaeton before it destroys the pelican. I got lucky here and managed to hit it with my cannon. Now for this skull, it will, once you destroy the Phaeton, it will spawn in 3 possible locations. I'm going to show you all 3 locations now. First location, if you want to throw a grenade at these 2 barrels, it should be underneath there, and it wasn't for me. So go to the second location, which is above where you got the Scorpion actually. It's quite well hidden. This is the second location, again barrels, so you want to throw a grenade in there just to move the barrel out of the way. And again, no luck for me here, so it must mean it's in the third location. And if you go right back out to the battlefield from where you came from, see these 2 little tunnels sort of thing? It's the second one, the furthest one away from where you are now. That's where the third location is for the skull, and I actually thought it was underneath that barrel, but it wasn't. It's next to these 2 crates, or in between these 2 crates. I didn't have any grenades to throw to move them, so I ended up having to melee my way out, as you'll see. But that's the third location where the skull can spawn, and that's the Iron Skull for you guys. Mission 5 unconfirmed, and this is the Blind Skull. This is the area with the first time you meet the snipers. I've gone and cleared out the room. It's pretty easy, this one. Just make your way up here. You want to go through this door and take the straight left, jump up here, jump on this crate, and then there's a little ledge that you can jump where I've just shot. Jump up that, grapple it, and then just follow the path around, and the skull is hidden and it's in this little cave. Okay, mission 6, evacuation. This is the Thunderstorm Skull. This is one of the trickier ones. There's actually 2 parts to this skull, and I will show you. Once you start the mission, quickly get onto a mongoose. You have 2 minutes to shoot the traffic cones in certain locations, and I will show you each one of them.
The other colonies Captain Lasky told us about. This is what happened to them. Look, this colony's gonna be a crater soon. We can't take anything that flies from these people.
Our Pelican is on the space elevator. We could use that.
The other colonies, there are more Guardians.
Really only concerned about the one in front of us right now, Vale.
But why this one? Why is the Chief on this Guardian? I think it's the first one Cortana activated on purpose.
This is Governor Sloan, broadcasting on all frequencies. People, if you are still planetside, make your way to the space elevator right now. Final shuttles are departing soon, with or without you.
Governor Sloan, Shuttle Bravo 3 prep for takeoff. Watch it, they're on your tail.
Guardian's got a hell of a singing voice.
Can we do autopilot retrieval? Bring the Pelican down to us.
Okay guys, we're coming up to the 5th one now.
Not with those ships shooting everything out of the sky.
To actually get the skull, once you shoot the 5th one, if you don't get to this section, to the 5th traffic cone within 2 minutes, this last cone won't be here and you'll have to restart again. The skull is actually at the end of the mission, right at the very end, just before you get onto the Pelican. As I'll show you now, the skull will be on the ground, but you have to be quick to get it before the cutscene ends it. And the skull, you can just about see it. It is popping the top of the skull out of the ground. Don't know why it's not actually full up, but you need to get it before the cutscene kicks in, or else you won't be able to get this and you'll have to restart the mission again, or the last checkpoint. Now this is Skull 6, Grunt Birthday Party, on Mission 7, Reunion. It's right at the beginning of the level. Once you get to this bit, you'll have one elite, a couple of jackals and a few grunts just praying or doing something here. You don't have to interact with them, I just happen to throw grenades. You want to take the right here, follow the path along and then stick to the right side. This is actually one of my favourite skulls because there is a singing grunt on this one, as you'll see here. And the skull is actually in the hands of the grunt. To get this, you have to let him sing a little bit and then interact with him. Don't kill him or anything, just press your action button, which happens to be the X for me, then you'll end up doing this action scene where you kick him off and the skull appears in its place. And that's the 6th skull, guys. This is skull number 7, Fog, on Mission 7, Reunion. Right at the end of the level, just before you actually go into that structure, you go down the cliff, take a right, and then just follow this path that I'm taking. And you can see a forerunner structure right here, and the skull is at the end of it. Pretty simple skull, this one. Skull number 8 is Mythic on Swords of Sanghelios, Mission 8. Once you get to this section, you see these beams kind of falling over. You want to go past these beams, go to the outside and then take a right. The skull is actually on a platform, as I'll show you here now. Just it's up there, so you're going to have to work your way around it, and the way to do it is climb up here again, and then go up this beam. You have to make sure to crouch so you don't fall off, and then you have to kind of grapple yourself onto these sections so you don't slide off. And then what you're going to want to do is take a run off it, jump and then dash. I managed to land on it. You can do it by grappling onto it. And this is skull number 8. Right, skull number 9, it's the Catch Skull, and it's on Mission 10, Enemy Lines. You're going to want to get in your Phaeton. The skull is actually inside the Kraken. If you park the Phaeton anywhere on top of the Kraken, in the middle section, and then take this first tunnel right in front of you, and then go down into the Kraken. So if you take the right, you actually go straight forward there. I actually got a little bit lost here. So go straight forward and then take a left. You're going to need to get into a Banshee to reach this skull, because there is no other way to actually climb it without the Banshee. Luckily there's always 2 Banshees parked up, so you should be okay. And if you just come into this little section here, get out of the Banshee without killing yourself, like I did when I first tried this, and the skull is right there, as you can see. And that's skull number 9. Skull number 10 is Cowbell on mission 12, Battle of Sunayon. It's right at the end of the level, so you're going to have to play the whole level to get to this. It's the area where you fight the Warden, just before the ending, where you can see the Guardian. If you run all the way to the back, if you're quick enough, the Warden won't spawn. If you come to the back, just crouch down, you should see this beam, you want to jump onto it, or crouch, fall onto it, and the skull is right there. Okay, skull number 11, Tilt, on mission 13 Genesis. Once you get to this bridge, I've cleared out the enemies. You do fight a Warden here, so make sure you kill them first before you attempt this skull, or else you'll die. You want to take the right after the bridge, and then follow the path along, and then climb up here. You're going to have to crouch jump for some of these, because for some reason it doesn't grapple on if you do a normal jump. So crouch jumping actually gives you a bit more hang time. If you just climb all the way to the top of this mountain, again crouch jump, it's right at the end, and that's skull number 11. Skull number 12 is Famine on mission 14, the break-in. Once you get to this section with the Warden, where he gets pulled away by Cortana, so you don't actually have to fight him, the skull is actually underneath him.
Cortana, talk to me.
Once you're here with me.
If you take the left, go into this tunnel, and it's in the middle of the tunnel, as you can see, just quietly sitting there. And I failed at life right now because I tried to shotgun this soldier and missed on easy, but that's skull number 12. We are at the last skull, guys, of this tutorial, and it's skull number 13, Tough Luck, on mission 15, the Guardians. You want to get yourself in the middle of the map so you can have the big gyrosphere in front of you, and then take the right. You'll come up to this shielded area. Go up this hill. There is actually a crashed pelican, and the skull is just behind the pelican. There is a way to get through this by the left side, but I could never for some reason get over it, jump over it, so I ended up trying the right side, and I managed to do it first time. You basically want to try and get yourself as high as possible on here, and then crouch through this little gap, as you can see me doing here, and then the skull is just underneath the pelican. Just there, guys. Thank you for watching my tutorial. I hope it helped you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And don't forget to subscribe. And there's the achievement, guys. Thank you for watching.